just look and you wonder, what could I do? So you don't look because it's too painful to look because you feel so helpless.
The Homing Project was initially named actually by my son, who has worked with homeless people in Los Angeles for a number of years. And he returned here to Tucson, and he researched what currently was being done in Southern California to house homeless people. And they were using something called pallet shelters, which are little prefabricated 64 square foot, essentially freestanding bedrooms that can be assembled in 45 minutes. And that is for our first housing, what we were using. They're extremely expensive. They're about $15,000 for the version we use because we need extra insulation for Arizona. And our original game plan was that these things were very easy to put up. We would have them up in no time. However, it turns out that getting permits took us 8 months. And then you need to get building permits on top of the site permit, which we've adopted from other programs that are successful. And also as a baseline and as a display for other neighborhoods to see that when you invite homeless people to live in your neighborhood in transitional housing, they're just neighbors.
Okay, so the numbers are totally overwhelming, and you feel so helpless to help any of these people that you see every day. All of us drive by and we see the visible unhoused people on the roads or in tents or in a bus stop, and you just look and you wonder, what could I do? So you don't look because it's too painful to look because you feel so helpless. And all the volunteers like myself, we feel that by working with the Homing Project, we can do something. It's a tiny drop in the bucket, but for a person that's going to come and live in one of these houses, have a safe place to be and get all the support that they need in order to get well again, move into permanent housing, and get support afterwards, because that's part of the plan, so that they can stay housed.
Just having a safe place and a place to really relax and just really put your weight down is worth more than most people ever know if they've never been without that. And it makes all the difference in the world. What most people might take for granted is just it's time to rest at night and you don't really know where you're going to land. That's a big deal. And so often you have to wait for the coast to clear, and then you need to be moving along in the morning, probably before daybreak, to make sure you're out of everyone's way in case that might happen. So it is a real challenge, and a lot of times that leaves you kind of sleepy in the daytime, and then you're in establishments where they don't want people dozing off and so forth. So it's a real challenge to just get enough sleep sometimes.
The Homing Project is now in its 4th year, and it's at a turning point. We are both wrapping up our very first site, which just has 10 houses, and we've all been referring to that as just a drop in the bucket, though for the 10 people who will live in those micro houses, it's a huge change. The next iteration will be 100 houses, and we won't immediately put 100 houses on the site. We'll bring them in 25 to cohorts so that they have a chance to form a small neighborhood within the village. And we found that since we need to be near services in the city, that we wanted to be near a bus line. So that meant a city site, and they were extremely expensive. So at that point, we started looking for donations. Essentially, developers loan us the land for 5 years, beginning when the doors of the village open. And they charge no rent. In return, we put in the utilities. And by putting in utilities where they can later use them, they can then put in affordable permanent housing when we leave. So there is currently not enough construction of affordable housing to keep up with the need here in Tucson or in the country in general. And so by doing this, we incentivize builders to build affordable housing.
Volunteers make the Homing Project what it is, and all of us feel like we're doing something tangible, and it has not been easy, and it is not easy, and but at least now I can, every time I pass by someone, usually in my head I always used to say, that is somebody's baby, and I can look at them in the eye, and at least I can say in my heart, hey, I'm trying to do something to help you, instead of trying to ignore them. And because that's what we do, all of us would like to just look away and not see them as human beings, as, it could be our sons, our daughters. It's very difficult, and of course, it takes a lot of volunteering and a lot of money to make this happen. And I'm really happy to be part of it, even though it is a big struggle.
I would say to anyone who's thinking of supporting the Homing Project to really look at the quality of the caring intention, and there's a lot that goes into even these little homes, but there's so much that says there's a lot of heart, there's a lot of caring here, and you can't put a price tag on that.
This is a community effort, and so we would like to ask your contribution in whatever way you can. Everything matters. We are buying everything from bricks to little houses. And also, once people move in, they need to cook meals, do laundry, so that we would like volunteers to come down and assist people in learning to cook, learning to clean, learning to play checkers. But keep in mind, we need to build these facilities. They are not going to appear by magic. We have been waiting for this problem to solve itself, and it hasn't. So I think we've all realized it's now time that we do whatever it takes to bring dignity and stability to people who for too long have been living in very harsh climate.